To find the unknown angle of a given component by using the sine bar. The sine bar is a high precision and most accurate angle measuring instrument. It is used in conjunction with a set of slip gauges. This bar is made of a high carbon chromium steel. It is kept on two hardened rollers of accurately equal diameter at a fixed distance. Sine bar also specified by the center of a roller distance. This distance may be 100 mm, 200 mm or 300 mm. For this practical, we are using this sine bar having this center to center distance, that is a capital L, of 200 mm. Experimental setup: sine bar of a length 200 mm. Then this is a slip gauge box containing 112 pieces. Then this is a component of which we have to measure the dimension. Then this is a dial indicator which is used to check the parallelism of this component with the top surface of a surface plate. Then a clinometer is required to measure the approximate angle of this component. First, note down the center distance. Then second, we have to find out the approximate angle of this component by using the clinometer. Now we will place this component for the measurement by using the bevel clinometer. So the component is placed here, on which we have to place the clinometer. Now clinometer is adjusted in such a way that the bubble in the spirit level should be at the central position by turning this rotary scale, which is operated by this micrometer knob. So we'll turn it. Now the bubble in a spirit level tends to move in right direction, as it is just moving. It is coming approximately at a central position. So for next, by fine adjustment, we will locate bubble position at the exact central. Now the bubble in spirit level is now located at exact central position. Now note down the reading. So this is a 9 degree. You see the exact reading. So it just crosses the 8th division, and so main scale reading is a 8 degree, and this micrometer scale reading is a micrometer reading is of 22 minutes. Thus the total approximate angle is 8 degree 20 measured by this clinometer is noted down. Now next,
now we have to find out the height of slip gauges. Already we have measured the angle of a component by using the clinometer, which is 8 degree 22 minute. Convert this 22 minute in degrees. So divide the 22 by 60. It gives a 0.367. So approximate angle is 8.367 degree. Now using the sine formula, we can find out the height. Sine theta is equal to h by L. So sine 8.367 is equal to h divided by 200, as L is a center distance of roller of a sine bar. Height is a 29.103 millimeter. Next, we have to find out the slip gauges to set the required height of a 29.103 millimeter. So from the given set of a slip gauge box, consider the first slip gauge within a range of 1.001 to 1.009. Select the slip gauge of 1.003 and subtract it from 29.103. The remainder is 28.10. Now next, from the range of 1.01 to 1.49, select the slip gauge of 1.10 millimeter. Subtract it from 28.10, remainder is 27. Now from next range, that is from 0.5 to 24.5, select the slip gauge of 2 millimeter. Subtract it from 27, the remainder is 25. Now from last range, that is 25 to 100, select the slip gauge of 25, the remainder is 0. Thus the slip gauge is required 1.003, 1.10, 2 and 25 millimeter.
next clean the surfaces of the slip gauges by using a proper cotton, which we are using for the measurement purpose, so that there should be no dust particle on the super finished surfaces of the slip gauges. I will consider the first piece of 1.005 millimeter. Then next is 1.47. What is the ringing procedure? Just place these surfaces over each other and just turn it. Squeeze the pressure between these two slip gauges and turn through 90 degree. Thus the slip gauges are rung together each other. Then consider the next piece. Clean this its top surface. Again place over each other. Just turn through 90 degree. Thus the ringing is done here. Now consider the last piece. Clean its surface. Now place it at 90 degree and just turn through 90 degree so that they will rung with each other. Thus all these four pieces are rung together by using the phenomenon of a ringing. Now in last stage we have to check the parallelism of the surface with the top surface of a surface plate. Now place the component on the sign bar. Now this is a dial indicator by which we have to measure the parallelism by observing the deflection which made by this pointer while this plunger moves across the surface. Now this dial indicator have a total 100 divisions. Value of one division is 0.01 millimeter, that is a 10 micron. Now when we place this plunger on the top surface of a component, as the plunger is moving in upward direction, the pointer is moving in clockwise direction. We have to check the parallelism of this surface from this left side. Now we have to set this dial indicator for 0 error. Now the dial indicator is set for 0. Now we have to move this dial indicator across the surface. So just move this stand and observe the pointer deflection. As the pointer is moving in clockwise direction in this surface, is not exactly parallel to the reference surface of a surface plate. Means this surface is in somewhat in above direction, as like this one. It will be some in upward direction, so that the plunger of this dial indicator is moving in upward direction. So we have to note down the deviation. The pointer is moving from 0 to 15th division, means we have to multiply 50 by 0.01 millimeter. So this value is of 0.5 millimeter, means 0.5 millimeter. The surface is inclined in upward direction with the reference of this flat surface. So we have to reduce this slip gauge height by an amount of 0.5 millimeter. Then again recalculate the required slip gauge height and put the new stack of slip gauge under this roller, and again note down the deflection. If the deflection is 0, then we can conclude that this surface and this reference surface are parallel to each other.
So after performing the practical, we find that the dial indicator deviation delta H is of 0.5 millimeter. So accordingly we have to set again new set of slip gauge height. So new dimension H1 is 29.103 minus 0.5. So the new dimension is of 28.603 millimeter. So correspondingly select the new slip gauges and stack a new height of a slip gauge and put it under the one of the roller of a sign bar, and again perform the same experiment to have a 0 deviation of a dial indicator. Now find the final angle having the 0 deviation in dial gauge with a new slip gauge height. So sin theta is equal to h1 by l. So angle theta is equal to the sine inverse of a new height of 28.603 L of 200. So the new angle is 8.22 degree. Convert this 22 in minute. So it gives a 8 degree 13.2 minute. Again convert this point 2 minute into second. So it is 8 degree 13 minute and 12 second. So the new angle is of 8 degree 13 minute and 12 second. Now note down the observations and calculations. First is the length of sine bar, which is about 200 millimeter. Then approximate angle, which we have measured by using the clinometer, is of 8 degree 22 minute. So by using the sine formula, find out the height of a slip gauge. H is 29.103 millimeter. Then after performing the practical setup, find out the deviations by checking the parallelism with the help of a sine bar and dial indicator. The deviation is 0.5 millimeter. Then with a new height, set up the required slip gauge and again check for zero deviation. Then the new angle or final angle is of 8 degree 13 minute and 12 second. So in result, note down that approximate angle which we have measured by using the clinometer is of 8 degree 22 minute, and after performing the practical by using the sine bar dial indicator, the final angle is of 8 degree 13 minute and 12 second. In interpretation of a result, after performing the practical, we find out the difference in angle is of 8 minute and 48 second. So in conclusion, we can say that after performing the practical, we are able to finalize the angle in terms of a second level. So thus by using the slip gauge box, sine bar, dial indicator, we can measure the angle up to the second level.